And welcome to another edition of Home Open. I'm John Adamson, and with me today I have a certified marketing specialist with Realty Center, a good friend of mine, Mike Pullen. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, John.
Mike, I know you've taken an interest in certain things in real estate that people can save money or make more money if they're thinking about either buying or selling. Today I want to talk about how home buyers can save money if they're out looking to buy their first home. And in order to do that, I wanted to talk a little bit about the HUD repossess or the HUD acquired home program. And what a HUD acquired home is a home that had an FHA loan on it that went into foreclosure. The government gets them back and then they offer them for sale to the general public. Now, when they first come back, they're offered primarily to
nonprofits.
So the nonprofit organizations that want to buy them for it could be halfway houses, it could be shelter homes, it could be parsonages, all sorts of different things. They get the first crack at them, and then home buyers get the next opportunity.
That's correct.
If they haven't, if they've been on a market for a period of time, they'll lower them, usually on a regular basis. They lower them about every 30 days until they sell.
Right, usually about 30 to 35 days.
And somewhere in that process, they become available to all bidders.
Right, usually about a week to 15 days.
And that would allow an investor to buy these homes as well for either a rental property or for fix up and resell. Kind of wanted to give you just kind of a few for instances. Now, these homes come out every Friday. You can go to www.hud.gov and go to Idaho, and you can see what properties they have available. So this is something you can do yourself. But if you find one that you like, you do have to put the bid in through not only a licensed real estate agent, but it has to be a HUD approved.
A HUD approved agent, and also you also have to be pre-qualified through a lender. A HUD approved lender.
A HUD approved lender. And they actually have a form that once you're pre-approved, that lender will fill out saying that you're qualified for up to a certain amount. And when you put in your bid through that HUD approved realtor, they have to have that in hand with a cashier's check. Now, normally earnest money can be a personal check or cash or something of this nature, but for this special government program, it has to be a cashier's check payable to HUD and then your name. That way, if you don't win the bid, they hand you back your cashier's check and you can just redeposit it in your account and you're not out anything. If you do win the bid, then that money goes towards your down payment closing costs when you buy the home. Or you would forfeit it if you won the bid and then for some reason didn't close. I don't really believe that a lot of people understand just how good a buy these HUD repos are.
Oh, we got a lot of them at this time.
I was seeing you brought in, we had, as of filming today, we have a house over on Lincroft in Boise,
right, and
it's had several price reductions. And this home originally back in 2004, so 4 years ago, sold for $156,000, and the government currently has it at $148,500. So even less than what it sold for 4 years ago. And it's a pretty nice home, isn't it?
It's a beautiful home for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house.
And
a 2-car garage.
So and it also says, that it's had a price reduction, but this particular home came on right after Christmas. If it doesn't sell by mid-January, there'll be another price reduction.
Probably about a 10% or $10,000 to $20,000 reduction.
So it would be worth keeping your eye on. There's one over on Kaminsky. I know that's over by Hewlett Packard on the West Bench. Your research indicates that it originally sold in December of 2006 for $214,900, and the government now has it down to $165,000, and it says that's available to all bidders.
That's right. So it's been out there for quite a while.
So an investor could go ahead and put in a bid.
An investor could put in a good bid, and looking back 2 years ago when it went for 214.9, if they just hang on to it for a year and 1 day, they could probably make a good killing when they sell it.
Could make a good profit.
A
let's
very
say.
good profit.
And the one nice thing about the government program, this HUD Acquired Home Program, is if you have been investing in real estate, normally you would go get a conventional type loan. You used to be able to put anywhere from 0 down to 20% down. Right now, the best programs that are available require an investor to put 20% down. And normally investors pay a higher rate than a home buyer would pay. For instance, as we're filming today, FHA is right around 5%, whereas if you were an investor, it would be just under 7%. And of course, that can make a big difference on the monthly payment. And the higher the monthly payment, well, the less cash flow you'll have, or it'll be harder to have positive cash flow than it would be if the payment was less. Under the HUD program right now, you can go in and buy these with 25% down, and the government will allow the investor to have an FHA loan, just like if you were a home owner. And just cutting that interest rate by 2% can mean that your payment might go from $1,000 a month to $800 a month, which is going to make it a better rental unit. I'm looking down here in Meridian. There's a home that in April of 2005 sold for $125,000. They have it at $135,000, so it's a little bit higher than what it originally sold for 3 years ago. But this one over in Meridian, it looks like a pretty darn nice house. What can you tell us about it?
Well, besides being a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, it's new. It's just fresh out on the market. It was released about
right around Christmas time.
Christmas time, yeah. I had my eyes drift over to the wrong date. But basically, it's new, brand new out on the market, just released right after Christmas. So there's not much paperwork out on it.
And I'm just kind of going through our notes. Yeah. Now, HUD tries purposely to price their homes low enough that it's going to entice the nonprofits and the owner-occupied, the regular home buyers to step up and buy them. In fact, a lot of times people will actually bid more than what the government is asking for them, just so that they'll have a chance at winning the bid. And I thought, besides telling you about some of the homes that are available, we have homes in Boise, Meridian, several in Nampa right now.
Several in Nampa.
Caldwell, Middleton. So there's a good selection of these homes available. Is to kind of give you a for instance on how the bidding works. I'm looking here in Boise at a home that was originally listed by the government at $135,000, probably sold originally at much more than that, and it ended up going for $145,000. So in order for someone to buy this home, they actually bid $10,000 more than what the government had it. Now, there's some special programs for home buyers that people should know about. They encourage you to, if the home is insured, it means you can get an FHA loan. But right now, an FHA loan, if you're watching this in 2009, it's gone from 3% down to 3.5% down. But if you're a homeowner and you're pre-approved FHA, they have
many different programs. If you are in the armed services, you go VA, but other than that, FHA has programs for firefighters, ambulance workers, nurses, school teachers, which is $500 down. I just drew a blank here. They also have $100 down programs.
Which are primarily for first-time
home buyers. They also have grant programs, which you just go to a one-day class, and they also prorate it for how much you are getting the loan for, which can be as low as $5,000 or up to as high as $25,000. I've had several clients that have gone through those classes, and that's helped them out to get their loans.
So under the government program, these HUD-acquired homes, besides, maybe, saving an additional $10, $15, $20,000, you can save on the down payment. If a home is $100,000, now we're looking at having to have $3,500 just for the down payment. But if you're a school teacher, if you're a police officer, a firefighter, that sort of thing, it would only be $500. That saves you another $3,000. If you're a first-time home buyer, $100 down, that's going to save you $3,400 right there. Now, the other thing is when you go out to buy any home and you go to a lender to obtain financing, there's going to be closing costs. And closing costs for an FHA loan run about 2.25% of the purchase price. And that's going to cover your loan origination fee, title insurance, appraisal, flood certification, doc prep. There's many different charges associated with buying a home that you, the home buyer, have to normally pay in addition to your down payment. And on these HUD-acquired homes, they'll pay up to 3% of the purchase price towards your closing costs. So what this actually allows you to do is we'll save that money on a $100,000 home just to pay your closing costs. You're going to save $2,250, but there's going to be another $700 that they would pay that could be used to buy down the interest rate or pay points so that you might even get a below market rate, cheaper than the already low FHA rate. Again, these are foreclosures. These are homes, all different ages, sizes. We've talked about some nice newer ones that are 3-bedroom, 2-bath, but we see 2-bedroom, 1-bath. We see townhouses, condominiums. Even sometimes we'll see a manufactured house on a foundation.
I've seen a couple of them over in Canyon County.
And some of them, when you go into, I swear they're like a pigsty inside. Some of them, people, you could tell they took real good care. Basically it's going to be a little paint, maybe cleaning the carpets, getting the yard back up in the shed.
Just little touch-ups, and that's about it.
And you're going to have as good a home as any other home like it. But some of the other homes, especially the ones that they've discounted, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, are usually pretty rough. They might need a new roof, they may need new bathroom fixtures, a new furnace, something of this nature. And there's a special program on the HUD-acquired homes called the 203K, which allows a homeowner to go in and borrow the money to buy the home, plus borrow up to $35,000 to improve the property. That can be adding rooms, putting on new roof, adding central air, finishing basements. You can pretty well use the money for whatever you want. What they'll do is the lender will have you get a HUD consultant that will go out with you, and you kind of do a wish list of what you would like done. I'd like new light fixtures, new carpet, new paint, and they'll write down a list of what they feel that should cost if you went out and had a contractor do the work. Plus they'll go through the property and see if there's something structurally wrong with it or something that makes it so that it doesn't meet HUD's minimum property standards, and that work will have to be done as well. And if you can do all of that work for $35,000 or less, they're going to then turn it over to an appraiser who's going to appraise that home as if all that work was done. And I've been doing this for a long time, and I know in some of your special training you found out there's certain things that you can do to property that you might spend $1 and get $2 or $3 back in value.
Right.
It's amazing, things like just a fresh coat of paint, a new carpet, new appliances, new light fixtures. So you might be able to buy one of these homes 20, 30, 40, 50,000 less, borrow an additional $35,000, still have it be below market, but by making the right repairs, the right rehab, end up with a home that even though you borrowed the extra money is still going to have a built-in equity of $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. The other nice thing I like to point out about the HUD program and the FHA program, besides not having to have the down payment, besides the government paying your closing costs, if you're out wanting to buy a home and your income just doesn't justify it to obtain the FHA loan, FHA allows you to have a co-borrower.
Right.
And as long as it's a family member, they can go in and co-sign. So it's going to be like you and your parents qualifying for the loan, and so it makes qualifying a whole lot easier. So I think this is a real important fact. In short, I think to let people know on these HUD-acquired homes, they need to be ready. They need to get with their lender, get their pre-approval letter.
Get their pre-approval letter, and also get with a realtor
That's approved by HUD to put in a bid, and have your cashier's check ready, payable to HUD, so that if you like the price and want to put in a bid, either more or less than what they're asking, they can go ahead and submit that bid for you. The bids are submitted electronically, and you normally know the next day. The problem is these homes come out on Friday, where you have to have a cashier's check, the banks will be closed.
Right.
So if you don't have your ducks in order, or you haven't met, the broker won't be able to submit your bid, and you might lose out if you have to wait till Monday or Tuesday to go ahead and submit your bid. So it's definitely a program. Parents, that when the credit crisis is over, homes are going to rebound. Most everyone knows that the greatest store of value, the greatest wealth that the average American has is in his home. Here's a way that you can help your kids get into a home, maybe do a little sweat equity, improve the value of the home, and have something that they can make a profit on in the future. The one thing, and I think a lot of people don't know this, is if you buy one of these homes and you live in it 2 years and sell it, you get to keep all of the profit. A single person up to $250,000, a married couple up to $500,000. You're probably not going to make that on these homes, but it's conceivable that you might make anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 over a 2-year period. That money is going to be tax-free. You're not going to have to pay any federal tax on it, state tax, self-employment tax, Social Security. It's your money to keep. In fact, the government realizes that this is a way that some people will be making money, so they limit people from only being able to buy one HUD repo every 2 years, owner occupied. Now, the few homes that do go for all bidders so that investors can buy them, investors can buy as many homes basically as they want, by putting 25% down and getting this FHA financing. This is real good news, because if you are a real estate investor, because of the credit crunch, most investor loans come from Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. And they passed a rule in, I believe it was October or November of last year, that an investor can only have 4 finance properties. So if you own a home, that would allow you to only have 3 rental units. So if you already have a home and 3 rental units, and you're thinking, boy, with the market down, with home prices so low, interest rates so low, I wish I could add to my portfolio. Here's an opportunity with this built-in financing that's going to allow you to add to your portfolio. And 25% down is also a magic number if you have a 401k or an IRA that you want to make self-directed. This is the point that under a self-directed 401k, that's the minimum down payment if you want to go out and buy real estate, is this 25% down. If you have any questions, you can always call us. We'll feel free on www.hud.gov. There's a whole question and answer page that answers most everyone's questions on this. They do, if they know if there's anything wrong with the property, it's posted. You can get everything from termite inspections, property inspections, any inspections that they've had done on the property, you can look at before you put in your bid. Some of them have value elements or appraisals even that you can look at before you put in your bid. All of the HUD programs allow you to go in and do a home inspection, and if you find that unless they're selling it in as-is, whereas condition, they've earmarked that it has serious problems. If you find something that would keep you from buying the home, they'll let you out of the transaction and give you back your $1,000, or in some cases will actually go in and make that repair so that you'll go ahead and buy it. Now, you've done some research too. Besides the HUD repos, there's VA repos too. And the VA repos are just homes that had VA loans on them.
VA loans that have gone repossessed because the owners unfortunately could not make their own payments. So the VA has repossessed them. And right now in the Treasure Valley there are 3. In the entire state there are 6 of them.
So not very many.
Not very many at all.
Now, I've noticed that unlike the HUD repos that are either just terrible and they need a lot of work to marginally acceptable, they're going to need some paint, some carpet, some cleanup, that the VA foreclosures, the foreclosures that come in from the Department of Veteran Affairs, they seem to be a little bit nicer. I think they do a little bit more fix-up to them.
Yeah, the VA department, they make sure the veterans are taken care of. And most of the homes are in pristine condition. These are homes that are ready to be moved in today. That means you put a bid in, you win the bid, you can move in tomorrow.
And again, they price, like HUD, they price these at rock bottom prices to get as many people interested in them as they can. Unlike HUD that requires homeowners and nonprofits to have the first chance, VA allows everyone, investors or homebuyers, to bid.
They price theirs more at market rate than anything else. I think they price theirs so they're ready to sell at today's market than anything else, because they don't want to dicker with anybody.
And they do look at less than full price offers, but a lot of times you'll see that the VA foreclosures do tend to sell for a little bit higher than the asking price, just to beat out the competition. You know, it might come out and be available for 10 days before they open up all the bids, and if it's a hot property, there might be 10 or 12 bids. So to ensure that you get that, people will bid it up a little bit. And also, like the HUD program, they are willing to pay closing costs. So unlike HUD that will pay 3%, I believe on the VA homes you can go up as high as 5%, which would allow you to not only have your closing costs paid, but to maybe do a buy down or pay points to get a lower interest rate and a lower monthly payment. So if you're thinking, if you know in your heart that now is the time to go out and buy a home because it's at rock bottom prices and the interest rates are so good, check out these properties that are available through the government, either through the Department of Housing and Urban Development or through the Veterans Administration, and you can save yourself thousands of dollars and probably have the lowest monthly payment as well. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about besides the HUD and VA foreclosures is you recently obtained a new you became a designated short sale specialist.
That's correct.
But also a certified marketing specialist as well.
Yeah, home marketing specialist.
And you learned how to stage a home in order to get top dollar for it. We've got about 5 minutes left in the show. Mm-hmm. I tell people that, you know, there really isn't one price for a home. That homes are kind of a range of value. If you have to sell the home immediately, it's going to sell for less than if you have it on the market
Right.
for a greater period of time. If you offer terms, it's going to sell for more than if you just want cash. Staging can increase the value of a home up to 5%. What are some of the things people should know about when they're staging their home?
It's the way it looks to other people. The way you want to stage your home is you want to start at your driveway and start walking to your front door. That's their first impression of a home, is the way they look at your home. That's the first thing you want to do. How does the front yard look?
And normally what I've always recommended is when you stand back and look at the exterior light fixtures. That's a very inexpensive thing to change because light fixtures change over time, and for probably less than $60 you can replace the exterior light fixtures and give it a newer look. Or sometimes the trim paint will be a dated color, and just adding a more up-to-date color, or painting the front door a contrasting color can give them that good first impression.
And also the plants in the flower bed, are they dead? Or does the bark chips need to be changed? So, little stuff like that.
Bark chips can really go a long ways in making flower beds and planting areas look fresh again.
Or do you need to put some fresh stuff in there so it has a fresh smell to it?
And
also,
with regards to smell, when you walk in the door, you don't want it to smell any way, shape, or form.
Right, that's simple cleaning that you can do. Also a little Febreze sprayed in there to kill the smell too, if there's any smell, or if you don't smell it, you're probably used to it. Have a neighbor come in and smell your house.
And say, does my house smell of cat or tobacco or whatever? And he mentioned one product you can buy in the grocery store. A lot of janitorial supply stores will have special products for cat odors and that sort of thing that work really good. Of course, clean the carpets.
Clean the carpets. Just general cleaning around the house. Wash your windows, because people want to be able to see into your house as well as you can see outside. Make sure your drapes or curtains are clean. Clean the blinds if you got blinds. Also, the main 4 areas that you always want to make sure are always clean, because it's the main 4 areas everyone will go into, is your main entry, your living room, your kitchen, and the master bedroom. Make sure.
And that would include the master bath as well.
Yeah, master bath.
And there's little tricks that you can do, just a few elements that you can add to a kitchen, a bedroom, a bath, to make them look more appealing. And if you'll do this, you'll find that your home will sell for more money. In fact, we could probably do a whole episode just on some tricks of the trade. Or you can hire people to stage. Normally, a professional stager charges 1% to 2% of the purchase price. Or there's realtors like Mike who have been trained that if you hire them to market your property, they can give you this advice as well.
Right.
So that's going to do it for property for Home Open today, and we hope that you learned something that's going to either help you buy the home of your dreams, or maybe get that home that you have sold a little bit quicker for maybe a little bit more.